Welcome back, my peoples. You feel me? Welcome back today. Now, before we get into that, you feel me? You see who we reacting today? Erling Haaland. You feel me? How he became the best striker in the world. I seen a couple clips of Erling Haaland. Okay, I knew he's good. I used his thing in some FIFA matches that I played. Like, you feel me? But like, I've never sat down and watched an actual game of it. So watching this will actually be, informational about more. But he's actually one of my favorite players to use. But I never watched. I've never sat down and actually watched a football game. You feel me? Before we get into the video, you feel me? If you guys could kindly, lovely, all that good thing. You feel me? Like, subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 by the end of the year. You feel me? We will have the original video down below. You feel me? Go show them some love. Don't want to waste y'all time. You feel me? Let's get into it.
Erling Haaland is the best striker in the world right now, despite being only 22 years old. He's already broken a ton of records in his short career, like being the fastest player to score 15 Premier League goals, being the fastest person to score 4 hat-tricks in the Premier League, breaking the record for most goals scored in a Premier League season with 36 goals, being the youngest player in the Champions League to score 25 goals, and also somehow being able to score 9 goals in one official World Cup game. Erling Haaland is so...
What? Bro, I collecting the Infinity Stones with this. At the age of 22, he's breaking records. That's bizarre, bro.
Talented that people are already suspecting that he'll win multiple Ballon d'Ors throughout his career. How did a superstar like Haaland come out of nowhere from Norway to be the best and most terrifying striker in the world right now? Well, to discuss that, we have to go back to Haaland's youth, because that's where his journey started. Although Haaland is raised in Norway and represents them internationally, he was actually born in Leeds, England on July 21st, 2000. The reason he's born in England is because his father, Alfie Haaland, also played professional football, and he was playing for Leeds United at the time. However, Erling only lived in England for around 3 years, because in 2004 he moved back to Bryn, his parents' hometown in Norway, due to his father retiring early because of injury-related issues. Whether that was because of Roy Keane's dangerous challenge on Erling's father in the Manchester derby remains to be seen, but it's definitely possible that Keane's disgusting challenge played a part in Erling's father's early retirement. Going back to Erling Haaland though, he started to play in the academy of his hometown club Bryn at the age of 5. He stayed with that academy team throughout his entire youth, and then for Bryn's reserve team he impressed a lot, scoring 18 goals in 14 matches. That's when Haaland was promoted to the Bryn senior team and was given the start in his debut against Ranheim when he was only 15 years old. Despite not being able to score for Bryn in his debut season, Haaland was still offered a trial by German club Hoffenheim before deciding to join one of the biggest clubs in Norway, Molde, to play under Norwegian legend Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 2 months after signing for Molde, Haaland finally made his debut for the club at 16 years old in the Norwegian Cup game against Volda, where he scored on his debut and immediately showed...
Which is what I don't get about, you feel me, football players. Because they look like grown-ass fucking men, you feel me? Like they dead as look like grown ass fucking men. Turns out this motherfucker was 17 this whole time. That's bizarre to me, bro.
His talent. Now to wrap up his first season for Molde, he got a total of 4 goals and 1 assist in 20 games. Obviously, these weren't world-class stats from Haaland, but he was only 16. It only goes up from here. And the next season, Haaland drastically improved for Molde as well. In the 17-18 season, he managed to get 12 goals and 4 assists in 26 games. More importantly, in a game against Bryn, he scored 4 goals in 21 minutes in that singular match. And this just shows how dominant Haaland was in the Norwegian league. Additionally, he went on to receive the Breakthrough Player of the Year award and also finished that season as Molde's top goal scorer. This obviously caught the eye of several clubs around Europe, and one of them was Erling's father's old club, Leeds United. However, Erling Haaland and the people around him played it smart and decided to join Austrian Bundesliga champions Red Bull Salzburg on a 5-year contract. He could only join Red Bull Salzburg in the wintertime, and he barely played for the remainder of the 18-19 season, only managing to play in 2 league games and scoring only in one of them. He also left Salzburg before the end of the season so he could participate in the U20.
So he was under a contract for 5 years and he only played 1 game? Or did they say he only scored 1 goal?
World Cup with Norway. And at this tournament, Haaland finally got to show his ridiculous goal-scoring talent. Now, the U20 World Cup was actually really poor for Norway, in all honesty. They lost to the Uruguay U20 team 3-1 in the opening game. Fun fact, other top striker Darwin Núñez scored in that game. Then in the next game against New Zealand, Norway lost 2-0. So at this point, Norway were already out of the tournament, and the game against Honduras in the last group stage game was a game of pride. And in this game, Haaland shocked the world. Norway destroyed Honduras 12 game of pride. And in this game, Haaland shocked
That's funny.
The world. Norway destroyed Honduras 12-0 and Erling Haaland went on to score 9 goals in that game. And this miraculous performance from...
What the... I'm not even gonna lie, like, sit here and lie to you. That's literally the most goals I've ever seen being scored. 12-0? That's so deep.
Haaland and Norway made this their biggest ever win at the U20 level. And despite Norway being eliminated in the group stages, Haaland still went on to win the Golden Boot for that U20 World Cup. I personally remember when Haaland scored 9 goals in this game. It was all over social media. Now the following season, RB Salzburg decided to have Erling Haaland as a starting striker, and he did not disappoint. In the Austrian League alone, he scored a grand total of 16 goals and got 6 assists in 14 games. He had more goal contributions than games played in the Austrian League in his first season as a starter. That's mad. However, Erling Haaland for Salzburg the Champions League was also a beast, and that's where top clubs really started to take notice of him. In his first Champions League game ever against Genk, he bagged a hat-trick, immediately getting off
after he turned what? He's still playing for the Red Bull. Oh, he's still playing for the Red Bull.
Then in the next game against Giants Liverpool, he scored a goal in an almost comeback against the Mentality Monsters. Then against Italian Giants Napoli, he scored 2 goals at home, and then in the away game, he bagged another goal. He then finished off his group stage UCL campaign with the goal against Genk in the away game as well. Now, although Salzburg didn't qualify for the round of 16,
his penalty, like the way he shoots his penalty is just like confusing.
The Champions League, they at least qualified to the Europa League. However, Haaland did not play for Salzburg in these Europa League games. Why is that? Well, despite only being a starter for Salzburg for half a season, he was already attracting a ton of European interest from top clubs in the world, like Manchester United, Juventus, and Manchester City, to name a few. However, the club that won him over was none of these clubs. It was actually Borussia Dortmund in Germany that got his signature.
What? I thought he joined Manchester United off the bat.
Signed him for around 20 million euros in January. What a steal. Real quick, if you made it this far in the video, please remember to subscribe. It's completely free, and you can always unsubscribe later in the future if you want to. Back to Erling Haaland though, he made his debut against FC Augsburg with him starting on the bench. However, he came on in the second half and managed to score a hat-trick within 23 minutes in a 5-3 win. Haaland got a hat-trick in his debut for Borussia Dortmund. That's crazy. His form did not slow down though. In the next game against Köln, he came off the bench and scored after 12 minutes, and then he went on to get a brace 10 minutes later. These 5 goals in 2 games made him the youngest player to get this achievement in the Bundesliga. These amazing performances also helped him win January Bundesliga Player of the Month when he hasn't even started a game yet. Now it was time for the Champions League round 16, where Borussia Dortmund had to face PSG. This was a big game for Haaland, especially because he was playing against his rival for years to come, Kylian Mbappe. However, Haaland definitely won that first leg battle. Haaland went on to bag a brace in a 2-1 win for Borussia Dortmund, and his second goal was a thing of beauty for Erling.
Bro, how old is Mbappe? I need to do a video about him too. I'm literally going to do a video after this video ends. I'm going to do a video about him. But like, damn.
His meditation celebration also became iconic, with him preaching that meditation is good for you and everyone should do it. I mean, he's not wrong. Anyways, BVB ended up losing that second leg, but Erling Haaland still had a very impressive season with him getting...
Last year, Cyber, we broke all these Fabletics sales records because of my irresponsible offer. 70% off.
44 goals and 10 assists in only 40 games throughout the entirety of the 1920 season. Haaland had 54 goal contributions in only 40 games. That's a ridiculous stat for a 19-year-old footballer. How was he so good? Well, his former teammate at RB Salzburg might have the answer. Max Wilber spoke about Haaland's maturity despite being really young and said, "Haaland is an absolute top professional. While we are playing cards on trips away, you can see him reading some scientific articles on how he can improve his sleep or diet. He was always looking for the smallest detail that he can improve to take another step forward." Erling Haaland just seems so serious about his career and so laser focused that he always wants to find ways to improve for himself. However, one thing he doesn't take seriously about football though is his interviews. Watch this.
After the final whistle, you and the whole teammates, you were going to the south stand, the famous yellow wall, which was empty today, of course.
Bro,
why did you do that?
Why not? He's the biggest talent in the world, then what are you?
Yeah. That is, bro, I can't. I swear to God, bro. I literally feel him, bro. But not because of like his fame, but like talking to people. It just feels fucking weird to me, bro.
I'm over 20 years, so I'm getting old now.
So what's your secret? You scored 10 times now in the Champions League.
Hard work.
Now you might be thinking it might be a little too difficult for Erling Haaland to get similar stats because of how crazy the 54 goal contributions number is. Well, guess what? Haaland got similar stats in the next season. In 41 games in the 2021 campaign, Erling Haaland managed to get 41 goals and 12 assists in 41 games. This means he got 53 goal contributions this season, which means he only got 1 less goal contribution from the season prior. So Haaland getting these types of similar numbers for 2 seasons in a row shows that it isn't luck. He's just that good. And honestly, it truly felt like Erling Haaland was a robot pretty much built built to improve every single season he plays. However, the 21-22 season didn't go to plan. And don't get me wrong, Erling Haaland still performed well, with him getting 29 goals and 8 assists in 30 games, which does mean he still had more goal contributions than games played for Dortmund, but still, it's definitely a downgrade from the 2 seasons prior. Why? What happened? Well, he dealt with a lot of injuries this season, which kept him sidelined for a decent amount of time for Dortmund, which also shows why he didn't play as many games as well. Also, Norway were trying their best to
hold up. Bro did not play that many games, and he still scored that many goals. Bro is him.
For the 2022 World Cup and were really close to doing so. However, they got 3rd place in their group, falling behind the Netherlands and Turkey late into the qualification process. However, that wasn't Haaland's fault because he was injured for the last few important games of qualifying. It was just rough luck for Haaland, and it sucked not to see him at the 2022 World Cup. The 2021-22 season for Haaland was the last time he ever played for Borussia Dortmund, and finished off his impressive 2.5 seasons with the club with 86 goals and 23 assists in 89 games. These stats are insane. Haaland is definitely a robot. Anyways, Haaland had a release clause that summer from Dortmund that would allow him to leave for around 60 million euros, which is pretty cheap considering how talented Haaland is. Man City got lucky with this release clause because they didn't have to overspend on him and got him to sign for the Manchester club. It felt obvious that Haaland was going to join Man City, not gonna lie. Not only did they desperately need a striker, but also the fact that this was Erling's father's old club, so it felt like a home sweet home for the Haaland family, and a no-brainer for Erling to join this Manchester City side. Man City fans were obviously hyped with the signing of Erling Haaland as well. After all, he is one of the best talents in the world. Haaland is also currently having himself a pretty impressive season, but he did have a slow start. In the Community Shield game against Liverpool, Haaland made his professional debut for City. However, they lost 3-1 and Haaland missed a wide open sitter. I remember seeing all over social media after that Haaland was gonna flop in the Premier League. But oh boy, we were all so wrong. He started out the Premier League with a bang, with him scoring 2 goals against West Ham, 1 against Newcastle, and then a hat-trick against Crystal Palace, and then another hat-trick the week after against Nottingham Forest, and then a few games later he also scored another hat-trick and got 2 assists against Manchester rivals Man United. These hat-tricks made Haaland the first player to score 3 hat-tricks in a row at home in the Premier League, and this also made him the quickest player in Premier League history to score 3 hat-tricks, beating out Michael Owen. However, Haaland has broken a few more records than just that. Haaland is the first person to score 50 goals in his first 10 games, the most anyone has ever done before. He's also the fastest person to score 4 hat-tricks in the Premier League. He also became the fastest player to reach 20 Premier League goals, and also the first player to score 20 goals before January. Most importantly though, he broke the Premier League goal scoring record by getting 36 goals in the Prem, beating out the likes of Andy Cole, Alan Shearer, and Mohamed Salah. He's also broken some of Pep Guardiola's records too, like being the fastest player to reach 25 goals under Guardiola, and be the top goal scorer for Guardiola in one season when he scored 22 goals. I can go on and on about the records Haaland has broken so far, but then we'd be here for hours. Just know that overall in Haaland's first season at City, he's got 52 goals and 9 assists in 53 games. Yet again, Haaland has more goal contributions than games played. He's ridiculous. Not only that, Haaland has played a significant part in helping Manchester City win the treble this season, being the second English club to do so. Man City came back against Arsenal to win the Premier League title. Then for the FA Cup final, Haaland started the match as Man City beat local rivals Man United 2-1. And for the icing on the cake, the Champions League, Man City took down Inter Milan in the final 1-0 thanks to Rodri. Even though Haaland didn't score in the 2 finals I mentioned, he still played an extremely important role in the competition and was the key reason, in my opinion, why Man City won the treble. I also think it's safe to assume that Erling Haaland will definitely have at least a couple of Ballon d'Ors by the time he retires. I have full confidence in that. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, remember to
Ooh, bro. Yeah, man. He's him. I'm pretty sure by the time he, like, you know, he retires, he's going to be a Hall of Fame. He's going to be like, yo, like, I'm going to be telling my kids. You'll be like, yo, sit here, son. Let me tell you about the GOAT himself. The man that was him. Erling Haaland, bro. You feel me? They're dead ass. My kids gonna grow up on football, bro. Dead ass. This was a great video, though. This was indeed an amazing video. You feel me? Again, we will leave the original video down below. Go, go show him some love. Show us some love. We're trying to get to 500, as I said, by the end of the year. You can always unsub later on. You feel me? If you don't, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You feel me, bro? Thank you. You feel me? Have a great night, day, whatever it is for you, evening. Have a great one. Peace out.